quarterbacks. This year's quarterback class is a lot better than last year's, but we're sitting here wondering, who's the big dog? Who's the best guy? Is there a blue chip quarterback prospect that can save a franchise this year? The three names that keep getting brought up are Dante Moore, Fernando Mendoza, and Ty Simpson. Lenora Sellers has kind of fallen off the radar because of a bit of a shaky season. So it seems like at the current moment, those three prospects are the teams that need quarterbacks will be going after. Do you think they are solid enough options to be taken in the top 10?
I would be comfortable taking two of them in the top 10. I think there's only one that I would be confident in taking number one overall, though. I don't know if that's fair or not to you. I mean, I guess a good conversation point here, Joe, is they're all very different, right? Like, they're all very different prospects. Like, just quick synopsis of each. Dante Moore is much more of the 6'2", 6'3", incredible arm talent, processing, really clean mechanically. Fernando Mendoza is kind of like that old school pocket passer, 6'5", 225, has enough athleticism to at least maneuver the pocket consistently. And then Ty's like the guy that I just kind of want to run RPO a ton and get the football out of his hand and make some nice throws like intermediates off of pressure and like those type of things. I am admittedly a little bit lower on Ty Simpson comparatively to some people. So of the two, Fernando Mendoza, Dante Moore are the guys that I would take in the top 10. But here's the hot take, Joe, and I don't know if you agree on this. I would love to hear if you agree or not. Dante Moore is quarterback one for me in this class. That's the guy that I would take number one overall, but I don't know if I would take Mendoza number one overall. That's my hot take, I think.
Okay, so I'm going to be very clear here. I am not going to put any delineation on where guys are ordered just yet because it's December, and I want to be able to fully dive into this class.
Plant your flag. Plant your flag.
I refuse to do that. I will say this, though. Dante Moore's path to the NFL has been an interesting one. Aside from him transferring from UCLA to Oregon, we also have the fact that a lot of people were projecting, despite having a really good season this year, that he'd go back to school. And things seemingly have changed significantly with his offensive coordinator, Will Stein, taking the Kentucky job. It feels like all signs point towards Moore declaring, and he should. This quarterback class has not established a clear leader. And if he were to declare, to your point, he could be the guy as the process unfolds, a team falls in love with him. I think ultimately of these three quarterbacks, it is going to come down to what teams value the most. I don't think that there's going to be a massive separation between the three. I think all are very gifted. I think all of them are worthy of top 10 picks, but I don't mind you going all in on Dante Moore.
So the fascinating thing is Dante Moore as a third-year player. I can't remember. Did he redshirt in 2024, or is he a true junior or redshirt sophomore? I can't remember if he redshirted or not.
Technically, I think he didn't play enough. Yeah, he didn't play enough, so he must have.
So he's probably a redshirt junior, but if nothing else, he's a true junior. So like he has at least 1 year of eligibility remaining. The other two, Joe, also have eligibility remaining. Now, I think that there is no chance that Fernando Mendoza goes back for another year because he's going to be a top 5 pick, more than likely, right? Mm-hmm. But Ty Simpson's the other interesting one. Ty Simpson is a guy, I want to hear how much you prescribe to this because I prescribe to this a lot, actually. Dante Moore is technically a 2-year starter because he started the majority of his UCLA freshman season, right? So he's played a lot of football at this point. Never bad as a 20-year-old to play more, though, so that's why this conversation of if he should go back or should come out is still kind of prevalent. Ty Simpson's a 1-year starter. Even though he's a 4th-year player, 1-year starter, has 1 more year of eligibility on the table. I think he's the more interesting one of should he go back for 1 more year? Because when you look at the sample size of guys that have played 1 year starting experience on the college level translating to the NFL level, it's a really just not a fun list to be a part of, man. A lot of busts in that group. So I'm kind of curious if he's a guy that does at least think about seriously going back for a 5th year.
This is a really important question for this class. I think if you asked me in October, I would have absolutely said to you, declare, come out. I don't care that the sample size is small. He's making high-level throws. He's staring down pressure. He's showing unbelievable poise. he looked like he had played 20 plus games in October, the way that he finished that month. But as the offensive line for Bama has struggled and teams have relentlessly sent pressure at him, Oklahoma and Auburn did this, we've seen some cracks. We've also seen some fumbling issues in the pocket. I think that concern now has popped up more, and I'm in the camp that I would like to see him go back to school. I also think for the Bama side of things, as much as it'd be fun to see Keelan Russell, I would like for Ty Simpson to be able to develop enough that he can succeed early on in the NFL. The two things that do help him, he's a coach's son. We get to do that bit. His dad's the coach at UT Martin, and he also is going to have a lot larger of a sample size of a one-year starter than most that fit that description because he's playing in the SEC championship game. I think Alabama has a lot of potential to go on a little bit of a run here. So if he's got like a 15-game season, he'll be experienced. It just still does make you concerned because of that very poor history of guys that have fit that exact qualifier that you're bringing up.
Yeah, it's fair, and it's very fair. And obviously, we're not fitting Mendoza into this conversation because Mendoza is now a 3-year starter, 2 at Cal, 1 at Indiana. So we're not putting him into that conversation. I just think it's really interesting because there's several guys here. Ty Simpson's not necessarily a wild card in this group because Ty Simpson's probably going to go top 15 if he declares. I'm not sure about top 10. Like, he's faded a little bit down the stretch. It really depends on how strongly he finishes the 2025 college football season. We will see. But then you get into like the weird outskirts of who the hell is quarterback 4, man? Like, who is quarterback 4? Do you have an answer? Like, who's quarterback 4? I mean, Sellers, if he declares?
Before we were going to get to the next topic, I was going to ask you this question because I think that you're a little bit deeper you're a lot deeper into the class than I am because I've been so college football specific focused that I haven't watched as much film. I'm never going to watch as much film as you. Everybody knows this. I'm never going to pretend that I will. Who do you think are some of the floaters if we were to have, and this is not a good name to attach to it, if there was a J.J. McCarthy that is maybe not a first-round guy, I'm not saying that we'll end up sucking, but if there's a guy who isn't really a first-round guy, let's call him a Bo Nix. If there's a guy that's not really a first-round guy that starts to float their way, or a Jackson Dart that starts to float their way into the first round, who do you think that is? Is there anybody out there? Because Sorsby, it's rumored that he's going to get a lot of bread thrown his way to enter the transfer portal and to be a big program starter. Whatever happens with Hoover, you mentioned Sellers, but Sellers would be a guy that I would really love to see transfer and go play for a bigger program with a good offensive coordinator. Like, imagine him playing in Lane Kiffin's offense. That would be freaking nuts. What do you think is that QB4 if we were able to paint that?
I think you just named the two of them. I don't put Josh Hoover into this. Like, I think Josh Hoover has a lot of potential. I liked him in the preseason, but he needs to go back to school. Like, he needs to go back to school. He needs to develop a little bit more. He's not there yet. He's not there. It is between Lenora Sellers as a redshirt sophomore. Do you want to declare? Like, that's the first question. Because
he shouldn't.
Although, Joe, he is, I agree. I don't think that he should. I think he should go back to school. But if he does declare, I think it was Dane Brugler from The Athletic that had him as still a top 30 player or something like that in this class like a week or so ago. Like, the tools are phenomenal. 6'3", 242, can run the way he can, has a strong arm. He can do some things outside of structure that are amazing. I think that the NFL will still like Lenore Sellers, but if they like him, that's more like a team trading back into the back of round one, maybe to take him. So I think he fits the descriptor. The one, though, that I think is the most likely, and it's not fully likely because Brennan Sorsby from Cincinnati, who started his career at Indiana, is rumored that he will either declare or transfer. That's kind of the conversation point that's out there right now. But if he enters, Joe, I think he is the clear riser to quarterback 4 because that kid has every tool. Nothing physically that you need to question there. He's like 6'2 plus, 230 plus pounds. He can move. He has a strong, flexible arm, can throw from multiple platforms. His thing is technical, though, man. Like, he needs a lot of refinement with his feet, with his pocket awareness at times. there are coaching things that needs to happen for Brendan Sorsby, so I would not be mad at him at all if he decided to go back for another year. But for the quarterback forward conversation, it's between those two. It's a Sellers betting on traits, or it's Brendan Sorsby betting on mechanical maturation. Those are the two guys I think are the most likely to be the fourth first-round quarterback if there is a fourth first-round quarterback.